This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. This planned hold gives the launch team time to conduct final systems checks and resolve any outstanding issues prior to entering the terminal count. At this point, we remain on schedule for liftoff at 6:08:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Our window for this morning's launch is going to remain open for 19.5 minutes, closing at 6:28 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning, and welcome to Mission Control here at the Atlas Spaceflight Operations Center. I'm Steve Agate. Thanks for joining us for this early morning liftoff. Morelos-3's delivery on orbit is scheduled to take place nearly 3 hours after liftoff, and because of that long duration, we'll take a break from commentary about 20 minutes after liftoff. We'll resume commentary about 10 minutes before Morelos-3 separation. During that break, we'll continue to show you mission progress. Later in the show, I'll be joined by guests Omar Sharfain from the Secretaría de Comunicaciones y Transportes, or SCT, and Steve Skaladnik from Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services. We'll discuss Atlas V, Morelos-3, and the capability it will provide to Mexico. The Atlas V launch vehicle is produced in Decatur, Alabama, and Harlingen, Texas. It is comprised of a common core booster powered by the NPO Energomatch RD-180 main engine, 2 Aerojet solid rocket boosters, and a Centaur upper stage powered by the Aerojet Rocketdyne RL-10C engine. The Morelos-3 satellite is protected during ascent by a 4-meter diameter payload fairing. The Atlas V Morelos-3 booster arrived at Cape Canaveral on September 8th. The Atlas V booster was erected on its mobile launch platform inside the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF, on September 14th. On September 17th, the second of 2 solid rocket boosters was mated to the Atlas V booster. On September 18th, the Centaur and payload adapter stack was transported from the dock to the Vertical Integration Facility, or VIF, and mated to the Atlas V booster. The Morelos-3 satellite was encapsulated inside the 4-meter payload fairing on September 21st. On September 25th, the encapsulated payload fairing was transported to the VIF and mated to the Atlas V. Finally, approximately 12 hours ago, the fully integrated Atlas V on its mobile launch platform was rolled from the VIF to the pad at Space Launch Complex 41. Trackmobiles are used to transport the Atlas V to the launch pad, a quarter-mile trip that takes about 30 minutes to complete. Once the mobile launch platform reaches the park position at the pad, the team conducts final securing. Following pad clear, about 4 hours before launch, the Atlas V is fueled and configured for launch. The Atlas V rocket stands 195 feet tall, or about 20 stories, and weighs approximately 1 million pounds fully fueled. To lift the Atlas V away from the pad, more than 1.5 million pounds of thrust is produced by the RD-180 main engine and 2 solid rocket boosters. The following profile details the important events of this mission using approximate times.
Go for main engine start. 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of the Atlas V.
The Atlas RD-180 main engine and 2 solid rocket boosters ignite to lift the vehicle away from the pad. Shortly after liftoff, Atlas begins its initial pitch, yaw, and roll maneuvers to attain the proper ascent profile and minimize aerodynamic loads. The Atlas V reaches Mach 1, the speed of sound, at 47 seconds. At 59 seconds, the vehicle experiences maximum dynamic pressure. At 2 minutes 9 seconds, the 2 solid rocket boosters, or SRBs, are jettisoned. Approaching booster engine cutoff, the Atlas V is burning propellant at a rate of 1,672 pounds per second, traveling at approximately 12,576 miles per hour, and located 84 miles in altitude and 277 miles downrange. Booster engine cutoff occurs 4 minutes 9 seconds after liftoff. 6 seconds later, the booster stage is jettisoned. The first Centaur main engine start takes place 10 seconds after booster separation. At 4 minutes 33 seconds, the payload fairing is jettisoned. Cutoff of the Centaur main engine occurs 18 minutes and 9 seconds after launch. The mission now enters a 2.5-hour coast phase. At 2 hours and 48 minutes into the flight, the Centaur main engine is restarted. This burn will last just under a minute. Following the second Centaur main engine cutoff at 2 hours and 49 minutes, the mission enters a short coast phase in preparation for spacecraft separation. At just under 2 hours 52 minutes, Centaur releases Morelos-3. This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. In a few moments, launch conductor Doug Lebo will poll the team for the final go to pick up the countdown. 27 engineers and managers will be polled for system status and readiness to proceed with the launch. This is the final status check before launch for all Atlas vehicle systems, ground systems, the spacecraft, and the U.S. Air Force Eastern Range. The readiness poll includes hydraulics, pad water deluge system, electrical systems, pneumatics, propulsion systems, flight control, and propellants. Let's listen in as launch conductor Doug Lebo performs the final polling of the team.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas Systems, propulsion, go. Hydraulics, go. Pneumatics, go. LO2, go. Water, go. Centaur Systems, propulsion, go. Pneumatics, go. LO2, go. LH2, go. Has gas, go. Electrical systems, airborne, go. Ground, go. Facility, go. RFFTS, go. Flight control, go. Instrumentation, go. COM, go. Timer, go. GCQ, go. Umbilicals, go. ECS, go. Redline monitor, go. Quality, go. Op safety manager, go. ULA safety officer, go. Vehicle system engineer, go. Anomaly chief,
ACs go.
range coordinator,
Clear to proceed.
launch director.
You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count. T0 is planned for 10:08:30 Zulu. Set count to start at 10:04:30 Zulu.
Roger. T0 is set for 10:08:30 Zulu. Count will start at 10:04:30 Zulu.
Polling is complete and the launch team has given the go for launch. The countdown will resume approximately 2 minutes from now. From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you'll be listening to launch conductor Doug Lebo and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. You'll hear the team call out that Atlas LO2 topping has been secured, followed about a minute later by the call out for transferring the Atlas and Centaur stages from ground facility power to internal battery power. At T-minus 1 minute 55 seconds, the team will command the launch sequencer to start, followed shortly by the securing of the Centaur LH2 and LO2 topping activities. At T-minus 1 minute 40 seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable and arm the flight termination system. In the final minute, the Atlas tanks will be verified at flight pressures, followed by the verification of Centaur tank pressures. Final status check of Atlas, Centaur, and Morelos-3 readiness is conducted at T-minus 25 seconds. Seconds before liftoff, the RD-180 engine ignites and performs a health check, followed by the ignition of the 2 solid rocket boosters. After liftoff, you'll hear the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data.
On my mark, the time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark. T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
3:55.
T-minus 1 minute.
Report range status.
Range green.
Zamifko on channel 1 with a hold due to fouled range.
Launch conductor is not ready. Clock is stopped at 51 seconds. All personnel go to section 80 for recycle. Flight control, state cause and time of abort.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 51 seconds and holding. We've had a hold to the count called by the range for a fouled range status, and we'll bring you back additional information as soon as we receive it.
Centaur pneumatics.
Go ahead.
Roger, step 20.
And venting is complete. Tank pressures are stable.
Roger. Go ahead, ALL.
Atlas LO2 topping is in progress.
Roger. LC, busy LC on 1. System recycle is complete. LC switch going to the ready position. All personnel return to the L-minus 7-minute status check. Launch director, LC.
LD.
Roger. Launch vehicle system recycle is complete, and we are holding at the L-minus 7 point to pick up the status check here at L-minus 7.
LD copies. Thank you. Good recycle.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas systems, propulsion, go. Roger, propulsion. Hydraulics,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
water,
Go.
sensor systems, propulsion,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
LH2,
Go.
has gas,
Go.
electrical systems, airborne,
Go.
ground,
Go.
facility,
Go.
RFFTS,
Go.
flight control,
Go.
instrumentation,
Go.
comm,
Go.
timer,
Go.
GCQ,
Go.
umbilicals,
Go.
ECS,
Go.
redline monitor,
Go.
quality,
Go.
op safety manager, OSM, LC,
Go.
ULA safety officer,
Go.
vehicle system engineer,
Go.
anomaly chief,
ACs go.
range coordinator,
Clear to proceed.
launch director,
You have permission to launch.
proceeding with the count. T0 is set for 10:28 Zulu. Set count to start at 10:24 Zulu.
Roger. T0 is set for 1028 Zulu. Count will start at 1024 Zulu.
Polling is complete and the launch team has been given the go for launch. The countdown will resume about 2 minutes from now. After liftoff, you'll hear the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Mark. T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
3:55.
Ground power is enable.
The countdown clock has resumed and we're proceeding towards a 6:28 a.m. Eastern Time liftoff.
60.
T-minus 1 minute.
Range status.
Range green.
Forty.
Stable at step 3.
T-minus 30 seconds.
25. Go
Status
Atlas.
check. Go Centaur. Go Morelos-3.
20. 15.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. RD-180 ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of the 100th United Launch Alliance rocket. The Atlas V is carrying Morelos-3 for Mexico's Ministry of Communications and Transportation and Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services. Morelos-3 will deliver advanced mobile telecommunications throughout Mexico.
Attack phase of flight. SRB chamber pressures have peaked and are rolling off now. Orbital program's complete and we are throttling down. Mach 1. Boosters throttled back up. Engine response looks good. Pump speeds, injector pressures. Max Q.
You're hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress.
Continue to burn well. Pump speeds, injector pressures on the RD-180 look good. Body rates controlling down the middle. Coming up on SRB burnout. And SRB burnout has occurred. Boosters now throttling back up to 100% thrust. Engine response looks good. Current altitude is 18 miles, downrange distance 15 miles, current velocity 2,824 miles per hour. Booster engine performance continues to look very good, body rates controlling down the middle. Coming up on SRB jettison shortly. And closed loop steering has been enabled, now flying Q alpha limited steering. RCS pyro valve has been fired. System's now pressurizing at flight levels. Closed loop integral steering is underway. Currently accelerating at 2.8 Gs. Engine performance looks very good. Body rates are good. Range track shows making good progress right down the middle of the range. Currently flying at an altitude of 47 miles, downrange distance 103 miles, current velocity 6,590 miles per hour. Still accelerating smoothly at 3.7 Gs. Booster engine continues to operate well. And we have begun boost phase chill down and are beginning throttle to maintain 5 Gs. And boosters throttling back to maintain a constant 4.6 Gs in preparation for BECO. Boost phase cooldown is complete. And we have BECO. Engine shutdown looks good. We have retros and stage separation. We have LOX and fuel pre-start. GM2 purge for into the RCS is underway. We have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Centaur closed loop steering has been enabled. Body rates look good. Box tank pressures have vented down as expected. Storage bottle pressures look good. Centaur PU is now in closed loop control, controlling near nominal. RCS line temperatures are warming towards bottle temperature. Current altitude is 107 miles, downrange distance 465 miles, current velocity 12,611 miles per hour.
This is Atlas Mission Control at L plus 5 minutes 25 seconds into the flight. We've just heard Marty Malinowski confirm successful completion of the early phase of today's mission. All systems continue to operate nominally. The Morelos-3 mission is currently in the first of 2 Centaur upper stage engine burns. Our next event, the Centaur main engine cutoff, will occur in about 13 minutes. I'm now joined by Steve Skolodnik, President of Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services. Steve, thanks for joining me.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services is supplying the launch for the Mexican government today. How do commercial Atlas launches work?
So, as you well know, Steve, the United Launch Alliance is a joint venture between Lockheed Martin and the Boeing company. United Launch Alliance is in place to service the U.S. government market space. So the parent companies, Boeing and Lockheed Martin, will market their respective products to the commercial market space and to the international market customers around the world. So when a commercial customer or when an international customer would like a ride on an Atlas rocket, they would contract for that service through Lockheed Martin, and then I'd turn around and request the assistance of United Launch Alliance to actually perform that service.
I see. What do commercial customers like about launching on an Atlas?
Steve, the Atlas vehicle is considered around the world as literally the gold standard for launch services. It is the most reliable launch vehicle in both terms of performance and in terms of date certainty. A satellite sitting on the ground really does a customer no good. They can't generate any revenues from it. In fact, it costs them money sitting on the ground. So to get a satellite into orbit on time when they expect it to, so that they can be providing the services that they are on contract to provide to their customers, is absolutely critically important. And Atlas has almost a perfect record in making sure that we achieve not only mission success but on-time performance as well.
Well, this is a commercial launch. Commercial launches usually occur for commercial customers, but this is a launch for the Mexican government. How has it been working with a government customer?
You know, when you're dealing with international customers, their needs and their requirements are really not that much different than a commercial customer. They have their customers. The government of Mexico has their customers as well. In this case, this particular satellite is servicing the defense community within the government of Mexico. So my customer, the communications ministry within Mexico, has to provide services to their customer and has to do so on a timely basis and on a mission assured basis as well. So really it's not that much different.
Well, Steve, you've been to many launches before. How do you feel right now in the middle of this flight?
You're absolutely right, Steve. I have been to a lot of launches, but you know, every launch is different.
This is Atlas Mission Control at L plus 16 minutes and 2 seconds into the Morelos-3 mission. All systems continue to operate as expected. The Atlas Centaur second stage and Morelos-3 satellite are currently located over the Atlantic Ocean, flying on a southeasterly heading east of Antigua. Our next event, the first Centaur main engine cutoff, or MECO 1, is scheduled to take place in about 3 minutes. Here's Marty Malinowski.
16 miles per hour. And we have MECO engine shutdown, looks good. We have 4S settling.
As Marty Malinowski just reported, the Centaur main engine has completed the first of 2 burns in its mission to deliver the Morelos-3 satellite to geosynchronous transfer orbit. This mission is now in a 2.5-hour coast phase. The Atlas V is now located over the Atlantic Ocean off the west coast of Africa and continues to travel on a southeasterly heading. During this coast, the mission will continue in a southeasterly direction, crossing over the southern African continent, after which the heading will turn slightly north. Following the long coast, the Centaur RL-10C engine will be restarted for a final 1-minute burn. A nearly 3-minute coast will follow the burn. The mission will then end with the Morelos-3 separation, scheduled to occur at just under 2 hours 52 minutes after liftoff. As a reminder, because of the long duration of this morning's flight, we'll take a break from commentary in a few minutes, but first, I'd like to introduce to you Omar Sharfain from the Morelos-3 Program Manager.
Thanks, Steve. It's a pleasure. Thanks, Steve. It's a pleasure.
It's an exciting day for you and the government of Mexico. Can you tell us more about the Morelos-3 satellite?
Yeah, sure. As you said, it's an exciting day for us. The Morelos-3 satellite is the second satellite of our MEXSAT fleet. The first one was the Bicentenario satellite that was launched in 2012 and has been operated by Mexicans in Mexican territory since 33 months ago. This Morelos-3 satellite is very important because it will provide mobile communications to different national security agencies all around the country to serve as a complement to other networks that we already have for national security purposes.
How does Morelos-3 fit into the whole MEXSAT system?
Well, as I said, it's the second satellite of our fleet, but this one has specific importance because it will provide different communications through different platforms. That's why we have, for example, a huge L-band reflector on the satellite so that we can have in-ground small terminals, handheld type, but we will also be able to communicate and provide connectivity through other platforms for aerial terminals, maritime and vehicular as well.
Okay. What are some of the critical services that MEXSAT and Morelos-3 will provide to the Mexican people living in remote parts of the country?
Well, they will serve as a complement to other networks that we have. We will be providing connectivity and telecommunication services such as voice, video, and internet to public schools in rural areas, and also to hospitals and libraries and public or federal buildings.
That's excellent. This is an important launch. We still have about 2 hours and 30 minutes until we deploy. How are you and the team doing?
We're doing fine. I think this was an exciting launch with the hold that we got 51 seconds prior to liftoff. So it just added excitement to the mission. But as you said, it's a long flight, so we still need to wait till the end.
That sounds good. Omar, thank you so much for joining.
And Centaur has begun a 50% duty cycle on the 4S settling motors. Signatures look good. And Centaur has also begun the turn to MES-2 attitude. Centaur has begun the PTC D-spin in preparation for our MES-2 sequence.
This is Atlas Mission Control at Del plus 2 hours, 42 minutes, 3 seconds into the Morelos-3 mission. All systems continue to operate as expected. Liftoff occurred at 6:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Welcome back to the Atlas Spaceflight Operations Center here at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, Cape Canaveral, Florida. I'm Steve Agate. The Atlas Centaur second stage and Morelos-3 satellite are currently in an extended coast phase located over the Indian Ocean west of Australia. Our next event, restart of the Centaur main engine, or MES-2, is scheduled to take place in about 5 minutes. The Centaur RL-10C engine will burn for a minute. A 3-minute coast will follow the burn. Our final event, Morelos-3 separation, will take place after the final coast. Let's join Marty Malinowski.
And we have 5 minutes remaining in this coast period before our MES-2 burn, which is scheduled for just under 52 seconds in duration. Four minutes to MES-2. And Centaur has begun 100% 4S settling in preparation for MES-2. LO2 tank pressurization is underway. LH2 tank pressurization is underway. One minute remaining in this coast period before our second engine burn. We have LOX and fuel pre-start. Approximately 10 seconds stillness to and we have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Centaur PU has been commanded to open loop control. Currently running oxidizer rich. RL-10 engine performance looks good for the ZMR. Vehicle body rates look good. Coming up on MECO. And we have MECO. Engine shutdown looks good. We have 4 acetylene motors on. Centaur has begun to reorient the spacecraft separation attitude. Centaur has begun 50% settling, still making its turn to spacecraft separation attitude.
Control at L plus 2 hours, 49 minutes, 56 seconds. As Marty Malinowski just reported, the Centaur main engine has completed its second and final burn. The mission is now in a final coast in preparation for Morelos-3 separation. Once again, here's Marty Malinowski.
Approximately 100 seconds to spacecraft sep. And we have the MECO 2+3 open. All parameters are very close. And Centaur is nearly achieved the spacecraft separation attitude. And Centaur has completed its turn, spacecraft sep attitude. And we have spacecraft separation.
Atlas Mission Control at L plus 2 hours, 52 minutes, 23 seconds into the flight. We've just heard Marty Malinowski confirm the successful Morelos-3 delivery on orbit. Congratulations to Mexico's Ministry of Communications and Transportation and Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services. In just a few moments, we'll hear a statement from Geraldo Ruiz Esparza, Mexico's Secretary of Communications and Transportation.
And we have the spacecraft separation open. Looks like the difference in eccentricity between the pre-flight and actual is 4 balls 5. The perigee height is approximately 1.6 kilometers low. Apogee height is approximately 0.2 kilometers low compared to pre-flight predictions. Looks like a very good orbit achieved for the spacecraft. With that, this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Morelos-3 AV-059 launch vehicle.
Joining me now is Geraldo Ruiz Esparza, Mexico's Secretary of Communications and Transportation, with a message for all of us. Mr. Secretary.
Thank you very much. Un día muy importante para México. Hoy estamos presenciando un lanzamiento exitoso que acaba hace unos segundos de separarse el satélite Morelos-3 del cohete Atlas, que lo llevó hasta 5,000 metros de altura, uno de los puntos muy importantes para el éxito de esta misión. Entonces estamos acercándonos a una consolidación del sistema satelital MEXSAT mexicano de última generación, con lo más avanzado en la tecnología, que ahora se complementa ya con el satélite bicentenario lanzado en diciembre de 2012, ahora con el Morelos-3, lanzado esta mañana a las 6:28 de la mañana, y prácticamente esto ya nos permite, una vez que alcance ya su órbita geoestacionaria, 36,000 kilómetros de altura, poner en servicio un fortalecimiento muy importante de las telecomunicaciones mexicanas. Telecomunicaciones que se ven fortalecidas con la reforma del presidente Enrique Peña Nieto, y que esto va a ser parte muy importante para algo fundamental: tener una cobertura mayor en el país, tener una cobertura mayor en México, que es una de las esencias de la reforma. Darle internet, darle telecomunicación, darle telefonía, darle este servicio tan maravilloso que es la telecomunicación al mayor número posible de mexicanos. En ese camino vamos, estamos contentos porque hoy es un día importante. Este satélite nos va a permitir ayudarle a mucha gente que en desastres, que en emergencias requiere ayuda de las fuerzas de seguridad nacional, requiere ayuda del gobierno, y este satélite es exactamente para eso, para servirle mejor a las gentes en momentos de emergencia, en momentos de desastre, y complementado con el satélite bicentenario que llevará a los mexicanos un mejor servicio satelital a puntos también alejados donde la telecomunicación normalmente no llega. Así es que esperemos seguir con éxito en esta misión tan importante del Morelos-3, que lleva el nombre además de este héroe mexicano, del generalísimo Morelos, a 2 días exactamente de que cumplió 250 días de su nacimiento. Una coincidencia feliz, hoy estamos lanzando el Morelos-3. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This is Atlas Mission Control at 2 hours 58 minutes 10 seconds into the flight of Morelos-3. Very shortly we'll be joined by the President and CEO of United Launch Alliance, Tori Bruno. I'm now joined by Tori Bruno, ULA's President and CEO. Tori, congratulations on the successful Morelos-3 mission.
Well, thank you. I could not be more pleased, and congratulations to you and to our Mexican customer and to everyone on the team.
Well, this is our 100th launch. Can you describe the significance of this accomplishment?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is an unparalleled record. You know, no launch company has really achieved anything like this. And over the span of time, this is 9 years of averaging, a flight every month, literally a flight every month. And to do this while we're having our cost and having the cycle time, and to yet still have this level of mission success on these really vitally important missions.
Well, as a ULA employee, I know the dedication and commitment it takes by the whole team for each of these milestones. Tell us a little bit about our team and its 100 missions.
Well, this is a great team. We have tremendous experience, and we have people who are very dedicated to this. They take these missions so very seriously. And the first question they ask every day when making a decision is, what will this do for mission success? And that's the last question and the question in the middle.
This is a very dynamic time at ULA. What do you think the next 100 launches will bring?
Oh, this is so exciting. It's symbolic that this was a commercial mission. And so we are going to truly change and revolutionize access to space as we bring this reliability with even greater flexibility, more schedule certainty, and even much more affordability. We're going to make these missions more accessible to everyone, and I think we're going to see whole new missions in the future.
Well, that's great. Tori, thanks so much for showing up today and being able to talk to us and our television audience. Thanks again, and congratulations.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
For more information about the Atlas V and this mission, please visit ulalaunch.com or join the conversation on Twitter or Facebook. I'd like to thank Steve Skaladinek, Omar Sharfane, Secretary Esparza, and Tori Bruno for participating in today's coverage. I'd also like to thank Marty Malinowski for his support of today's show. We'll complete our live coverage with another look at today's 100th ULA liftoff and successful Morelos-3 delivery. Liftoff occurred at 6:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm Steve Agate, and on behalf of the entire launch team, thank you for joining us and have a great day. This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. RD-180 ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of the 100th United Launch Alliance rocket. The Atlas V is carrying Morelos-3 for Mexico's Ministry of Communications and Transportation and Lockheed Martin Commercial Launch Services. Morelos-3 will deliver advanced mobile telecommunications throughout Mexico.